students, of course. I think a couple of years ago on our dairy training center, we did receive more than 10,000 students on a yearly basis out of the Netherlands. So that means that every student in the Netherlands, no, every farmer in the Netherlands has been on the practical training center for practical training. And that's one of the reasons why these cows produce so much milk. That's the reason, one of the reasons why these cows stay alive for such a long time. It has nothing to do with skills. It has everything to do with skills, but it has also a lot to do with training. Yes, we teach them how to do. Yes, and on that practical training center, it sounds a little bit weird maybe, but we allow them to make mistakes. Because the only way to learn is to make mistakes. Yeah? And when they go back home, they have made a mistake, and on your own farm, they know exactly how to handle it. Yeah? And of course, a group of agriculture trainers, like we do this week here in Lahore. Facilities are there. As next year we move up to the dairy campus. How is it called? Obviously, the dairy farm, dairy campus. It will be a new farm who's under construction now with more than 500 cows. Yes. All kind of training facilities will be there to teach the people all the training aspects which I just mentioned and which you can mention yourself. So if you want to come up with a training, whatever you want, I don't care. Write it down what you want. Yes, we will discuss and we will manage. We also are very much specialized in that training center in processing. So it's not only the cow. No, during our 6 months training course for international students, we will start up with the people to convince how important it is to take care of a cow. Yes, we also try them to show how important it is the way of milking, how to store the milk, and then finally they go into the plant and say, okay, now we have our product and we will try to make high quality cheese, high quality yogurt, or whatever is high quality we make of it. Yeah? So we do have a milk processing plant, we do have a dairy farm, yes, and last but not least, very important, we do have approximately 50 farms where we can go whenever is necessary. Yes? Because that group of farmers, of 50 farms, says, okay, hey, you want to educate your people? Okay, feel free, come to our farm, and we will help you. Yes, we are allowed to trim the cow's hooves. We are allowed to do pregnancy diagnosis on those farms for free. Yeah. Okay, tailor-made program. Yeah. Just an example. Yes, what kind of training do you want? Yes, in the Netherlands, whether in your own country or even on your own farm. Yeah. A couple of weeks ago I was in Russia, and the Russian farmer said, I want you to train my people. Yeah. I don't want to allow people from outside, no, I want you to train my people. Yeah. 2 weeks ago in Romania, I want you to train my people. Yeah. Yeah. So everything is possible. Yes, Basim knows, he was there 2 weeks ago. Yes, he wanted to be trained, and now he's almost a specialized farm manager. Yeah, almost. Yeah. Okay, continue. Now, the training farm, as you can see on these pictures, we also work with international students. Yeah, international students from the Asian countries, from the African countries. As I already said, we had a lot of people from Pakistan in the last few years. But we also try to copy, if possible, or so far as possible, the local conditions. So we don't train our foreign students always in new modern facilities. Now, if necessary, we also train them in local conditions, although not with local cows, but we try to copy the local housing conditions, for example. Okay. Now, this is another example, although you can't read it, but I think last Friday they closed the 8-week training course on the Practical Training Center, and it started 8 weeks ago with 4 different modules. Modules about fodder production, module about health and fertility, an economical one, and the last module was about milk quality. Now, that's an 8-week program, and I think it's an excellent program for a lot of people here who work on the floor, who work with the cows, who work with the milk. Yes, and that will give them a tremendous challenge to do better when they come back on your farm. Yeah. Processing, as I already mentioned, yeah, we have our own processing unit, yeah, where they make butter, where they analyze milk, yeah, and continue. Okay, go. Now, there is a contact details. You may go. Yeah. Well prepared, new skills. Yes. Let's go and get the animals. Yes. So let the animals come in. Now it's time to get the animals in. As you know what you can expect, and you know the support, you know how to be trained. So now we go and get the animals. Yes. I give you a short. Yeah, go ahead. A short presentation of one of the exporters, and I think all the exporters more or less have the same philosophy. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. So let's go. The main thing of most of the exporters is that they have to work together with Veepro. That's one thing. And it is up to the exporter themselves whether they want to work together with the training center or with another company where I will come back later. Let's go. Now, this is one of the exporters, and this is an example of what one of the exporters did in the last 10, 15 years. So out of the Netherlands, cows went to different parts of the world, and I think when I look at this world map, also somewhere near Pakistan. So if you want to share experiences with our exporters, I think it's not only a matter of give us a call and send us 2,000 or 500 or 100 cows. I think it's also good to deal with the exporters and say, okay, hey, what is your experience? What is your experience in exporting cows to another country, especially in this case to one of the warm countries. African countries are being mentioned, but also Iran and the Saudi states are being mentioned already. Okay. We try to be, like I said, at your service. We are very much interested in what you want. So, your requirements. You decide what you want, and no one else. Be aware of that. It's not a matter of give us a call and send us 2,000 cows. No, you decide. So it means that together with you, yes, we do a sort of pre-selection. Yes? And we go to the farmers. The farmers has informed us, okay, we do have a couple of heifers we like to sell. So it's not a matter of we decide, no, together we decide. All the exporters will call you in and say, okay, together we will do it. Okay? We also, as soon as we did the pre-selection, for the final selection, we invite the owner and said, okay, please come. Here are the animals which we selected. You ordered 500 or 200, 300 here are waiting. Now it's up to you to make your final selection. Veterinarians, tests required for export, it's our responsibility. The shipments and the documents, it's our responsibility. Veterinarian control and approval by our Ministry of Agriculture. Shipment to the final destination by road, sea or air under guidance of a veterinarian. Yes, from our side, we will guide our cows up till the door of the farm. Yes, and follow-up service after arrival of your dairy cattle, if you like, if you want. So that's to be at your service. This is more or less an example of where our cows are being collected. Yes? So we collect our cows from the different farms. That's on a central place, on a so-called collection center. We will take care of them as if were our own cows. We feed them in a proper way. And it depends a little bit from the country itself how long do they have to stay there in quarantine. But if they are there, they are well maintained. And then they leave us by truck, also by trucks where the animals are being kept in such a way that they feel free, they are not being tied. As you see an example here of such a big truck where they can eat, where they can drink whenever they want, that's where they can rest. That's in such a truck, what you see over there, and we transport somewhere between 40 and 50 animals in a double load. So they have all space. If you want, we can put more cows in the truck, but then the Dutch government says, stop. You are not allowed to travel more than 50 cows in such a truck. Because then we talk about animal welfare. Yes? Because they have a long way to go, And as I already mentioned earlier, 600 animals to Azerbaijan, Baku, only one abortion. Yes. In the past, 10, 15, 20 years ago, when we did the same, the abortion rate was sometimes 10, 15, 20%, because they pushed all the cows inside and keep on driving. Now also during the transport, the cows need to be unloaded several times. So if you decide, let's bring the cows from Amsterdam to Pakistan by truck, which is possible, I think, it's a long way, but then we have to lead them out at least, I think, 5, 6 times for at least 24 hours. Okay. We have also a few raising farms, which makes it even much easier. Raising farms, and then we already buy the calves in a very early stage. Yes, and on the raising farms, the animals are being raised up till the age of export. And again, it's up to the clients. What kind of animals does he want? Is she looking for 7 months pregnancies, or is she looking for 5 months pregnancies? Or does he say, no, 3 months pregnancy, that's what I want, because then I will have less risks of abortion. If you ask me to Pakistan, what would be the group, I would say somewhere between 3 and 5 months. Yes, close to 3 would be better than close to 5. But that's my personal opinion. Yeah? Okay. Now, the genetics, as I already mentioned, it's not only a matter of cows, and we also can offer the semen. Yeah, no problem. We also can offer the after sales, as I already mentioned. Yeah? And therefore, we have another company which is specialized in that, and the only one in the Netherlands. That's then actually the organization where I officially work for. It's the Dairy Development Company. The Frisian Dairy Development Company is working worldwide. That's the reliable partner, actually what we say for modern dairy industry. Yeah? And when we continue, also this company works worldwide. Yes, we have several product groups in our pocket that say farm investment, farm improvement, sourcing of raw milk, and last but not least, dairy training and recruitment. And recruitment means, okay, if you want to have a farm manager, if you want to have a high qualified farm manager, just let us know and we will try to find one that will fit into your environment. Yes? Farm investment means that we do feasibility studies. Is it possible to start up a dairy farm here in this area? We also are willing to help you with setting up business plans. Yes? How long will it be profitable over a long period of time? Investment support if necessary. Consortium leader. Turnkey projects. The one in Azerbaijan I just mentioned is a turnkey project where we did start it from the very first beginning. Yes? Really from the very first beginning. Later on I will show you a few pictures on that. Investment support and also the project management is for us one of the things we say we are specialized in. Farm improvements. You see there, I for dairy. It's pretty new. It's a pretty new project, and it says actually we have I for dairy, which means that we are able at this moment to install a sort of interface on your computer program, on your management program. Yes, and in Leeuwarden, our home city, we can analyze your farm results based on fertility, udder health, financial aspects, whatever you want. Yes, and we can make a report where we can say, okay, if we have analyzed these farm results, we are pretty sure, or we are more or less convinced that according to milk quality, something needs to be improved. And because the milk quality needs to be improved, according to our insights, it's being caused by your fodder management. To give you a little bit an idea what I for dairy can do for you in the future. Yes. In Azerbaijan, the country where I talked about 700 cows, I thought it was 600, but okay, doesn't matter. Yes, we started a turnkey dairy farm for 700 cows, including cheese processing and crop production. Yes. We did start it with farm layout, together with an architect in Baku, and together with the architect in the Netherlands. And together we came up to a final design and say, okay, is this what you want? This is what you need according to our findings. And according to our findings, when you start building a barn like this, yes, then it's 100% cow welfare, yes, it's 100% light, it's 100% water. Cows can eat whenever they want. Cows have enough air, cows have enough comfort, and cows have enough space. And it became a success. Because this is how we started. Yes? We were there on the moment when they constructed the building, when they did start it. Oh, we were already much earlier there, because when they were digging in the ground to create the foundation. Yeah? This is almost the barn when it was ready, the milking parlor. Yes. Some pictures to give you a little bit an idea where we are and what we are doing. There's also silage, the crop production. We did start it one summer before the animals arrived to harvest high quality roughage. We did install a whole cheese processing plant so that they can produce their own cheese out of their own cows. Yes. And the current activities, what I already did mention, same kind of project in Kazakhstan with 1,200 cows. Georgia, 1,200 cows directly out of the Netherlands. Yeah. China, we are heavily involved in dairy farm management. Yeah. And then last but not least, last day before yesterday, and we received this indicated offer for dairy cattle from the Netherlands. So when you ask for the Netherlands, what can you deliver us? Now, then you will are able to receive such a sort of report and say, okay, we only want to have Holstein Friesian in black and white. I also would say as red and white, because red and white and black and white are more or less the same. Not too fast. You will get an animal with an official registered in the Herd Book Association. About the production, you can make your own requirements and say, okay, what do you want? Yes, in this example, we have said, okay, in the first lactation, you will get a guarantee that the mother of the heifer has produced 6,500. Yes, in the third lactation, you will get a guarantee that the mother of the heifer has produced 8,500. All in 305 days. Yeah? You will get also the guarantee that your animals will calve down between the 23rd and the 30th month of age. Yes? And you also will get the guarantee that on the moment when they walk into the ship or when they go into the airplane, they are 3 to 6 months pregnant, confirmed by clinical diagnosis, which means ultrasound. Yeah? Yes. A pregnancy is already mentioned. We also want our heifers, and that's also the task of Veepro Holland, who says, Veepro Holland informed the farmers and said, your virgin heifers, my dear farmers, make sure that you do select a bull from which we know that the calves will be born easily. So in other words, all our heifers that will leave the country will get a sire in a so-called easy calving sire. They are 485 kilograms when they leave the country. Confirmation, something what we mentioned this morning. All the animals have a plastic ear tag with a registration number, and the veterinarian health, according to the veterinarian certificate, agreed between the Netherlands and Pakistan, yes, subject approval and our confirmation. Yes. Other specifications, now something about shipment, something about transport. Yes, we are able to send our animals by air, 150 animals per shipment. We are able to send our animals by boat with a minimum of 1,250. You will get a sort of insurance. Insurance means that 24 hours after they arrive on your farm, then 25% is insured against abortion and 100% insurance against death caused by emergent slaughter. Some indicative prices, if they go by air, start thinking about slightly more than 3,000 euros. If they go by sea, a little less than 2,500 euros. But then you will get all the guarantees which we just mentioned. That was actually, in short, my introduction presentation about the companies where I talked about. And as I already have said, together and we can become very, very, very strong in international business. And I do not only want to mention the Dutch companies, but I also want to have special attention for the people from Seoul Agri, who can play a very important role in this whole success story, we hope, but also the Pakistan farmer itself. Maybe the Pakistan farmer itself is the most important player in all this. Now I will thank you.
Thank you, Anna, for a very detailed description of the Holstein Friesians and its positive, what we can do for Pakistan. Now, I'm sure there are many questions. Urdu mein bhi theek hai, Punjabi mein bhi theek hai, Angrezi bhi chalegi. We'll try to answer everything. So, if we do this systematically, I do have a microphone. If anybody would like to have any question to any one of our specialists, the specialist or Rick from the trade section, please let me know, raise your hand, and we'll see if they can be answered. Thank you.
I am a small farmer and I understand your trouble ends when you export the cattle and deliver it at Pakistan, seaport or airport. The problem starts hereafter. We are very poor in farm management. We have many diseases around and they catch your cattle the moment they arrive.